After 2 straight brutal overtime losses, the Miami Dolphins were able to hang on in Week 5, beating the Cincinnati Bengals 17-13. Rookie QB Ryan Tannehill was solid for the Dolphins, managing the game well and not committing any turnovers, while Andy Dalton threw 2 interceptions for the Bengals, who were never able to really get it together on offense. It was a tight game all afternoon, but the Dolphins' 17 unanswered points proved too much, and Dalton's second pick with a minute 30 remaining sealed it for Miami. Let's go to Kevin Nogle at the Phinsider and Josh Kirkendall of the Cincy Jungle for their take on this one.
Guys, Kevin from the Phinsider. So excited after that win. It wasn't the prettiest Dolphins win. They have looked better this year, but I'm going to take an ugly win over a dominating loss any day of the week. Dolphins are 2-3 now. If we can get a perfect AFC East day with the Patriots, the Jets, and the Bills all losing, we could very easily be back tied for the AFC East lead at 2-3 with all 4 teams below 500. It's a good day to be a Dolphins fan. Whew. Team put away the Bengals and held on. Some questionable play calling at the end. The 4-minute drill should have wound down the clock. Mike Sherman decided to throw some passes instead. Charles Clay has to stay in bounds right there at the end of the 4th quarter. But in the end, a win is a win. Rashad Jones, thank you so much for coming up with that interception because that was critical right there. So, good job, Dolphins. Way to go. 2-3. Looking good. Now we just need to put it together, get on to St. Louis next week, and then get into the bye and get ready to take revenge on the Jets in 3 weeks. So, this is Kevin from the Phinsider. Make sure you subscribe to the Phinsider YouTube channel and to SB Nation YouTube channels. Thanks, guys.
Well, the Cincinnati Bengals laid an egg Sunday afternoon against the Miami Dolphins, 17-13. It wasn't so much the egg was dropped out of the orifice by the defense. The defense played well. They held Miami's number 5th rushing offense to about 80 yards. Third down conversions were from 4 of 13, and total offense was held to below 300 yards. So the defense, which also produced sacks, turnovers, played well. I mean, they're improving ever since their disastrous beginnings against the Baltimore Ravens, which carried over from Jacksonville. Now, the egg, which is a really fairly large egg, fell from the Cincinnati Bengals offense. Ben Jarvis Green asked, "What did we sign you for?" Going for 14 yards on 9 carries. Bernard Scott had a decent afternoon. He had a 29-yard run in the 2nd quarter, but he left with a knee injury, so there's my shocked face. Andy Dalton was a little off. His timing was off. His connections with his receivers were off. The Bengals relying typically on the big pass wasn't there. Green was mostly a possession receiver, and you have to give credit to Miami's defense. I mean, they shot the lanes during the run, and they blanketed the Bengals receivers on those bigger plays. So, Bengals will head to Cleveland to try to rebound, but for a week, we got to stew on this one.
Thank you, gentlemen. Next week, the 3-2 Bengals head to Cleveland to face the still winless Browns, then face Pittsburgh at home before heading into the bye. Meanwhile, the Dolphins are 2-3, and after the Rams in Week 6, they'll have their bye before taking on the Jets and Colts in Weeks 8 and 9. Be sure to subscribe to Cincy Jungle and the Phinsider for more on the Bengals and Dolphins, and keep coming back to SB Nation for more of that sweet, sweet NFL.